I'm ready to start the tooling on this front panel. The first thing I'm going to do is create an edge relief along this center panel. And you can hear my little dog whining in the background here. He wants some attention. He's gonna have to wait though. Okay, I'm gonna use this little beveling tool. You can see what that's going to look like. So I'll go ahead and finish around that line and then come back. Okay, I kind of created that edge around here to make this look like a inlaid panel. These will be the two black edges. I'm going to go ahead and do a pattern around the edge of this inner panel now. I need to get this a little wetter. Okay, that gives you an idea of the pattern I want. I might put something down the center here, but I gotta figure out what I want to put in there. I'm gonna add a little pattern down the center of this. Okay, that should do it. Just a different pattern, kind of looks like a vine growing through the center. I'll let this dry a little bit and then glue it on. I'm going to go ahead and put some dye in the center here, so if you look inside you'll see brown. And since I've already got this stained or dyed up here, I want to mask it off so that I don't get it on the stitching and it doesn't make it darker in case I drip some up there. In fact, I'll put some here just in case. Eventually I'm going to paint this brown, but I want to use a paintbrush. And again, I'll put the gloves on so I don't stain my hands. Hopefully I can be neat enough where I don't get on anything other than where I want it on. I don't have to go all the way down here at the bottom, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just so it all has the same kind of coating on it. Should actually do in this little opening here too. Okay, I'll let that dry for a few minutes and put some sealer on it too. As a matter of fact, I probably ought to put some on the back side here too. Let's go ahead and do that. Just a light coating. Just enough so that it colors it, but doesn't bleed through to the other side. Okay, before I glue this top panel on, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of sealer on here too. Just on the parts where I have the stain. This is also water-based. Work here. Okay, I'll give that a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to put grooves in this for stitching. Glue it on here and then stitch that on, then I'll glue it on there. I'll have to put the stud in before I stitch it on here though. Okay, I'm going to put grooves in this for stitching. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and put a hole in here for a snap. Okay, I've got a hole punch out here. I'm going to punch a hole in this. And then the snap can go in. Oh, when I do this, I'm going to put a little Loctite on that thread so it doesn't back out later on. Got a little screwdriver here, pocket screwdriver I'm going to use. And here's the Loctite. Just a little bit on the threads there. Screw the stud on. Cinch it down nice and tight, or as tight as I can get it. Okay. Now we can glue that on and then stitch it on. So on this front panel here, I went ahead and roughed this up a little bit. Okay, I'll give that a few minutes to dry and then drill the holes to stitch it. I'm going to go ahead and use this little star wheel for the stitching spacing. Okay, I'll go out and drill the holes and stitch this on. I've stitched this panel on here with the stud. I'm ready to glue it back on here. Okay, let's put this on. I'll hold this down and let it dry and then come back. Front panel is glued on now and you can actually test it out. It's got a pretty snug fit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint some sealer on here to act as resist, and I'm going to put some stain over the top of the sealer once it's dry. So this will end up having some dark areas in the indentations here, and I'll end up wiping it off, but it'll be lighter. And then of course I'm going to dye these black.